It's now time to serve you the news. My name is Kwasi Schandorf. Now let's start off in Parliament, where the minority says that it would embark on a nationwide roadshow to ensure that bondholders reject government's debt exchange program. Addressing the media, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu said that the program in its current form poses serious risk to individual bondholders, the banking sector, as well as the entirety of the economy. He is therefore calling for broader consultation.
The minority in Parliament continues to blame what it refers to the government's recklessness and irresponsible borrowing for Ghana's current economic woes, which has resulted in the ongoing debt exchange program. Addressing the media, Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu said government rejected a series of suggestions to cut expenditure, but rather chose to borrow excessively. He attributed the refusal of individual bondholders to sign onto the debt exchange program to the lack of engagement.
The failure of the Nana-Addo government to fully engage the relevant stakeholders on the debt exchange program has led us to total confusion, rejection, disapproval of the initiative.
The minority believes the debt exchange program in its current form could lead to a collapse of the economy. They are therefore calling for a broader consultation on the way forward.
So in view of this, we in the minority call on government to immediately suspend the domestic debt exchange program and engage more comprehensively in consulting stakeholders and the Ghanaian people. We call on all stakeholders that probably they can consider a national economic dialogue on the state of the economy and in particular the domestic exchange initiative or program. How do we work it? Probably the consultation and council will guide us as a country how to work out of this imminent economic crisis.
Failure to do so, the minority says they will embark on a massive roadshow across the country to ensure bondholders reject the program.
We will embark on a nationwide roadshow to foster deeper understanding of what they are doing. So very soon we'll deploy our teams into the region to appreciate the level of the economic crisis and their inability to manage it.
Meanwhile, government has for the third time extended the deadline for individuals to sign onto the debt exchange program. James Kwasi Aveji's report read to you.
Turning our attention away from Parliament, occupants of the Apromasi police barracks had to be evacuated after a fire incident killed a police officer, his family, and destroyed several properties as well. Inspector General of Police, Dr. Akufu says that the exercise will pave way for a complete assessment of the facility and for thorough investigations to be conducted. The Ashanti region has recorded 3 major fire outbreaks in 3 days. Nanaya Ojima has more in the following report.
Inspector General of Police, accompanied by some members of the Police Management Board, took a trip to the barracks to ascertain the situation and commiserate with the officers. The visit was an emotional one for the team and victims. Dr. Dampare conveyed words of encouragement from the President and other top government officials.
When I heard the situation during around 1 to 2 a.m., I monitored throughout the night, and with engagement with my colleagues, we decided that whatever it takes, I have to be here personally within the earliest possible time. And while leaving Accra, I informed the sector minister. Mr. Vice President has also been accordingly informed. Mr. President is also informed. And Mr. President, through Mr. Vice President and the sector minister, asked me to convey his personal heartfelt condolences to first the families who have lost dear ones, and second to all of you who happen to be occupants of these flats for even the psychological trauma that you have to find yourself in. And thirdly, to the entire police body for we losing one of our own.
The fire gutted the top floor of one of 3-story buildings, housing about 45 police officers and their families. Investigations by the fire service have established the fire was started in the hall of the deceased family. Eyewitnesses say efforts of the deceased officer to break out of his room proved futile. Dr. Dampare believes for the safety of officers, they will have to be relocated for a thorough assessment on the buildings. He says the evacuation will be immediate and convenient for the victims.
All the other blocks not affected, we are going to have to evacuate all of you and give you a decent place nearby, whilst we leave this structure for a complete assessment by structural engineers, by electrical engineers, and all the other experts who can have a very comprehensive examination of the situation for us to know what needs to be done to improve safety within the flats.
Meanwhile, the service has committed to ensuring the welfare of all victims, ensuring clinical psychologists visit affected members. Dr. Dampare further assured them of financial support.
Life has to be lived with necessities. And those necessities, I know most of you have lost all of them. We'll work with Mr. President, with assurance he has given us, for us to see how quickly we can get things replaced, all the things we've lost as a result of the fire replaced, so that you come to some level of normalcy in your life.
Families of the deceased victims are also being engaged by the service for a dignified burial for the officer. COP Habiba Kumesi Sapon is Director General in charge of welfare at the Ghana Police Service.
Our brother and family, the administration will make sure that they are sent off in a very dignified manner. Because he died serving Mother Ghana. Rest assured that IG, the police administration, is behind you.
For Joy News, Nanaya Ojima, Kumasi.
Very sad developments there. Now, away from that, 56 out of the 76 fishing vessels operating on Guinean waters have been grounded for non-compliance with the new illegal, unreported and unregulated fishing measures introduced by the Ministry of Fisheries and Aquaculture Development. Ghana was shown a yellow card in 2021 by the European Union for non-compliance of fisheries laws. Speaking to Joy News on the sidelines of the 14th session of the Conference of the Ministers of the Fisheries Committee for the West Central, Gulf of Guinea, in Accra, Fisheries and Aquaculture Development Minister Mavis Hawakumsin indicated that as part of measures, vessels with unauthorized fishing nets are also forbidden to fish on Guinean waters. Richard Hodunako has more on the following report.
Of the 76 fishing vessels operating in Ghana, only 19 of them have currently been cleared to fish on our waters. That's Fisheries Minister Mavis Hawakumsin. According to her, the ministry is more than ready to end all illegalities on our Ghanaian waters, hence their resolve to sanitize the space.
We have done a lot with the industrial vessels. We have now given them a new gear regime that's a very specific one that they should use for fishing. And because of that, when we were done with the close season in 2022, September, as we speak, only 19 vessels are on the sea fishing, because the others could not, out of the 76, the others could not meet the requirements. Apart from the ministry giving these directives for the fishing gear, Ghana Maritime Authority has also directed that they should also refurbish their entire vessel. And so you do that before you come to Ghana Maritime Authority. Will give you certificates. Then you move to fisheries, for fisheries to also come and then inspect your fishing gear and other requirements. If you are okay, then we'll allow you to go. And so the 19 vessels were able to meet the requirements, and they have gone for fishing. Apart from that, as we speak, cycle is a thing of the past in this country, even though there were lots of people fighting it, but I stood on my grounds with the support from the presidency. We were able to stop the cycle.
Mavis Hawakumsin also assured that the ministry will do all it can to comply with internationally accepted sustainable fisheries practices. She was convinced that the European Union would withdraw the yellow card after the assessment.
As you rightly mentioned, in the football, when you are shown a yellow card, the next one is red card, which means you are going out. Ghana in 2012, 2013, when we were given the yellow card, it cost us a lot. And so when we heard about this one too, we were very, very much careful to make sure that we don't even move to the red card. As at last year, July, 29th June to 1st July, the EU visited us. To be very honest with you, by then I had not visited the harbour myself. And so when they came, it was in my absence. I was then in Lisbon for a conference, and there were some issues there. So they drew my attention, and I have taken, that was about the logbook. They were not recording their movements and activities in the logbook. Now they are doing everything. And so I have confidence that when the EU comes back, they will not hesitate to bring us back to the green card. Looking at what we have done, I believe by now they have all the information even before their arrival in Ghana. We've done a lot.
The minister announced that the ministry, along with its agencies and department, has started a new and rigorous inspection operation at the port to make sure that all fishing vessels operating in Ghanaian waters have the right kind of gear before being given permission to fish. Reporting for Joy News, Richard Kwejunyako, Accra.
Let's now get into the camp of the opposition National Democratic Congress, where Member of Parliament for Asawase Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak says that he's petitioned the party's Ashanti regional leadership and the Ghana Police Service of allegations made by the new chairman of the Asawase constituency, Faisal Dauda. Mr. Dauda, at a news conference, accused the MP of planning to get him killed. He also alleged that the minority chief whip is in bed with the governing New Patriotic Party and has been scheming for the NDC to lose the 2024 elections. But Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak says that he's petitioned the party hierarchy and the police to investigate and judge Mr. Dauda's conduct.
Muntaka should know if he's a man enough, he should face me directly.
Observers are worried about the seeming friction between the newly elected Asawase constituency NDC chairman Faisal Dauda and MP Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak. The latter held a press conference days ago accusing his MP of planning to have him killed and scheming to derail the party's fortunes in 2024.
Any of my child who may lose his life spiritually, mentally, physically, or any way, even by accident, I will take the matter seriously against Honorable Muntaka Alhaji Mutum, who has been the chairman and former MCE. Anything that happens to me by sickness, by spiritually, by whatever means, I will hold Honorable Muntaka responsible, including his family, immediate family. I will hold them responsible. Everybody should know my life is in danger. I'm a kind of person that I'm a fearless son. I'm not a faint-hearted person. I will move this constituency forward, either with Muntaka or any other person.
But the MP for Asawase Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak says the allegations are baseless.
Never forgive us.
He has petitioned the party hierarchy and the police on the matter.
All I said was that if anybody decides to contest another person, because of what we've agreed, you cannot get my support. Nobody stopped you. So fortunately, you went and you won. I started the process of reconciliation. I met those who won. I met those who lost. Then I met them together and promised that we should do everything together. This fateful Sunday that I heard there was some arrest and then that started all this. We attended a wedding together and attended a funeral together. So I don't know where this is coming from. But like I said, I'm not going to respond to this because our party has a constitution. Our party has its rules. I listened to all the frivolous allegations I've reported to the party, to the region, and the criminal aspect of it, which is somebody planning to kill somebody. I mean, murder is not a joke in our country. I've since reported that to the police. I hope our party will take our constitution seriously, our rules, and because a lot of the thing that happened was an anti-party behavior, and our party front on that.
Alhaji Muntaka warns a recent visit by national executive members to foster unity within the constituency and unite the NDC in the region. He was speaking with Love News when he presented financial support running into 300,000 cedis to 110 needy students in his constituency to pursue various courses at the tertiary level. Reporting for Joy News, Erastus Asaredonko, Kwasi.
Now, the high rate of female dropouts from junior and senior high schools in the West district is an issue of concern to stakeholders of education within the district. Most of these girls drop out of school because they are forced to marry early. One community where the illegal practice is common is Wachiabo. Now, Rafik Salam reports how 22-year-old Louisa Doma has defiled the odds to become the first female from the community to enter the university.
Wachiabo is an outlandish community located in the eastern corridor of the West district. The scattered built community has a population of almost 2,000. The mainstay of the people is agriculture, particularly the cultivation of cereals, leguminous crops, and rearing of animals. Among the myriad of challenges faced by the people of Wachiabo and its adjoining communities is education. Many children enroll at the basic school, but majority of them drop out of school before they complete the junior high school. The case is even worse for the girl child as they drop out in droves and forced into early marriage. There is, however, a case of one who has defied the odds and bent on changing the status quo.
Most ladies don't continue their education just because they don't have someone to support them. Some get pregnant because no one is providing for them. They have to give themselves for men to support them. But me, I said those things can bother me. Whichever genuine way I'll pass to further my education, I will.
Chanela Louisa Doma was born in the community some 22 years ago and had a basic school education here. She attained aggregate 10 in the basic education certificate examination and was offered admission at St. Louis Senior High School in the Asante region, a school that she admired at the time but has little knowledge about.
Because my aim is I want to explore. I want to go all over the region before I die. So after my BEC, I decided to travel outside the region and also see how life is. Because living in this village, and after that you go to SHS in this village and everything in this village, you won't know what's going on. And life is really different as compared to this place.
Louisa Doma has just got admission at the University of Mines and Technology, UMAT, to pursue environmental safety engineering. She is the torchbearer for female education for now in the community. The first female to go to the university here passed on few years after her completion. The onus now lies on her to succeed.
My parents they are not well to do. They can provide all my needs, but through the help of Honorable, he has been providing some of my needs for me, like my school fees, everything at all I need concerning school, he provides for me.
West Member of Parliament, Superintendent retired Peter Lenchere-Tubu, spotted a Wachiabo starlet during her basic school days and is ready to fund her education and some 3 others.
But I want her to be a star. I want her to be a star very particularly to the girl child. Where you were born cannot disadvantage you. Who you are and who you think you can be tomorrow should be an inspiration that will let you stand out in the world.
Her auntie, Abenato Agnes, is excited.
Her seniors couldn't make it, but she has done well. Girls' education is very important, but most girls are unable to climb the educational ladder due to obvious barriers. But Louisa has been exceptional. The MP has done well by contributing to her education. It's our hope that she will be able to complete successfully, so she can assist her siblings in the future.
Growing up in this predominant farming community, Doma Louisa has several of her colleagues who she said were more brilliant than her. She stated that now that she's been able to get herself out of the turbulent waters, she will prove a point to be a shining example for the community.
I will encourage all young girls to hold on to their education, no matter the troubles and what they are going through, either financially or mentally from their parents. They should still keep on trying. Even if they are not academically good, they should try to complete either SHS. From there, they can get a petty job to do.
Reporting for Joy News, Rafik Salam, Wuchaubo.
25 ambassadors of the Ghana Science and Tech Explorer Challenge Prize, GSTEP, have successfully graduated over the last year. They have been equipped with skills that will help them to tackle problems in their respective communities. Joy Prime's Lois Adeyemi was at the pitching and graduation ceremony and has filed this report.
This is a water purifier.
One by one, they pitched their prototype projects to the judges. Their projects aim to tackle societal problems they have identified.
Utilize the heat produced from burning refuges to convert it into electricity.
Each ambassador has 90 seconds to convince the judges to invest in their projects.
I'm intrigued. I want to see what's going to happen next.
The prototypes address issues regarding sanitation, education, and pollution, just to name a few. Each ambassador has 90 seconds to convince the judges to invest in their projects.
It's solid. It's solid. Something that could easily work.
The 25 ambassadors have, over a one-year period, received mentoring under the Ghana Science and Tech Explorer Challenge Prize. The initiative, championed by the Dream Oval Foundation, is targeted at equipping junior high school pupils with practical science, technology, engineering, and math skills. Izzy Obing is the CEO of Foundervine, one of the GSTEP Challenge partners. She's excited about the prospects of the initiative.
We're trying to prepare them for the workplace of tomorrow. We want to prepare them for business, for politics, for engineering, maths. And so across the 12 months, they've been doing public speaking. They've been really refining their presentation skills. They've been working in projects, and they've been also building the innovations that they presented today.
One of the judges and youth development coach, Kwame Nyantwaming, believes the creation of a conducive environment is key to unearthing the potential of the young ones.
Ghana absolutely has a future. We just need to pay attention to the sort of environments that we create for our children. Education is the catalyst for change. The sort of education that we give to children is what is going to make them.
At the end of the pitching exercise, 14-year-old Fosuhene Apinting came out on top with his educational mobile app.
The problem I identified in my society is that in my neighborhood in Kumasi, Afasiabon, majority of kids or teens there do not spend their leisure time much productively. So I decided to make this app to help them to learn.
Parents should be very close to their wards, and we should know what they like or what they are passionate about.
Jeremiah Ekpe and Ivana Kwame took second and third places respectively. Stephen Abuaje was also acknowledged. Lois Adeyemi's report for Joy Prime.
Meanwhile, the GSTEP exhibition and award ceremony is slated for January 25 this year at the Accra International Conference Center. And that's how come we wrap up on this morning's edition of the news. For more, log on to www.myjoyonline.com. My name is Kwasi Schandorf. Do stay.